Gee, thanks, Chris, for that lovely marshmallow. Mmm. Wait. This isn't Total Drama Island. This is Total Drama Revenge of the Island.
We're done here.
Ah, the Total Drama series. Easily a contender for one of the best animated shows of recent years. The basic gist of the show is that a group of teenagers are brought together to compete on a television game show to win $1 million. The characters are wonderful, the drama is there, and for the most part, the comedy is spot on. Also, as is the topic of today's countdown, this show is absolutely filled with so many memorable moments. From the hilarious to the emotional to the downright messed up. Nearly every episode of the show is memorable in its own right, and narrowing this list down to just 10 was no easy task. And I'd just like to point out beforehand that there are minor spoilers on this list. So without any further ado, here are my top 10 total drama moments. I hope you enjoy. The Total Drama series is known for being a little crazy at times, but one of the characters on the show, Izzy, actually is crazy.
I'm not crazy. My mother had me tested.
So anyway, Izzy consistently spouts all these stories about things that have happened to her before, like being abducted by aliens, being reincarnated, having a license to kill, and being hunted by the Royal Canadian Mountain Police. But nobody really ever believed her. Well, thanks to this moment, we know that at least one of those stories is actually true.
Izzy, we know you are down there. You are under arrest.
You mean all that trash you were talking was true?
No, just the RCMP part. See ya! You'll never get me alive!
Well, that wraps that up. Night, everyone.
I mean, sheesh, we knew she was crazy, but a criminal?
That's just crazy talk.
As a whole, Revenge of the Island is probably my least favorite season of the show. I can forgive the entirely new cast and the shortened length of the season, but it just didn't seem to have the same effort put into it as the other seasons. But through it all, it was still the same total drama we all know and love. And one of my favorite characters from this season was Mike. Mike's problem is that he has multiple personality disorder. Throughout the season, he tried to suppress his problem and keep it secret from the other competitors, and for the most part, he succeeded. But the entire conflict was finally brought to an end after this moment.
Mike? Mike? Mike!
Zoey? Where am I?
Hey, yo, we're all in your flippin' mind.
It's a subconscious, you salami head!
I think it's time we show you who is boss. Yeah, this shrimp keeps getting in my way with the ladies. I'm in the way? You guys have been pushing me around way too long. It's payback time. That is it! I'm taking control! Starting now! There! That's more like it! From now on, this brain is under new management. Mine!
Are you okay?
Better than okay. I won!
I won!
I'll admit this one got a bit cheesy, but who cares? I like it and that's why it's on the list. Your argument is invalid. As I was trying to come up with some memorable moments from Total Drama Action, the second season of the show, I found myself surprisingly coming up with very little. It's by no means a bad season, in fact it's currently my favorite of the 4, but I found it difficult to think of one moment that really stood out. But then I remembered this.
I've lived a good, long life. I've loved, I've laughed, but what I miss most of all is my sweet little goat. Chopin. Oh, bah, bah. Bah, bah. Cut! Okay, enough! It's too much for Chef to take. Donkey clearly wins for best performance.
I don't even know why, but this is one of the funniest scenes in the entire show for me. For those of you who are a bit confused, here's the background. The contestants are all trying to put on a stage production, but the scripts got a little mixed up. So the gritty and tough Duncan had to play an old woman longing for her lost pet goat. And you know what? He actually did a pretty good job. Well, aside from the fact that he can't bleat for the life of him.
Wow! Wow!
Oink, 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 oink.
Originally, I didn't even consider putting this moment on the list, but thanks to a friend and fellow countdown anchor by the name of Quarter Guy, I reconsidered it and, well, you can guess the rest from there.
One night, a lot like this one. So suddenly, they heard this tapping on the side of the car. The girl started to freak out, and by this time, even the guy was getting a bit scared. So he turned the car on and he stepped on it. When they got back to the girl's house, she opened the door and screamed, because there, hanging from the door handle, was the bloody hook. They say that this killer is still alive, wandering these very woods. He could be just about anywhere, really. Maybe even right here!
Now this moment really just speaks for itself, but the one thing I just can't get over is the scripting. I honestly can't believe how natural it sounds. Easily one of the hardest things about scripting anything is making dialogue sound like natural conversation.
Besides, I love my Mustang, which is a plug-in hybrid. It gets 100 mpg.
This really sounds like teens talking around a campfire. Also, I just love Duncan's laugh at the end. Hands down, my favorite character in the entire show has to be Harold. I mean, how could I not love this guy? His dialogue is hilarious, his interactions with the other characters are well developed and his little mannerisms are quirky! And throughout the show's lifespan, he has had so many hilarious and memorable moments. However, there is one that takes the cake, and if you've seen the show, you know exactly which one I'm talking about.
Just go for it, Harold. What have you got to lose?
Oh! Awesome! Huh. 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 Gosh! Awesome! What? Uh-huh. What? Booyah!
Did that seriously just come out of Harold?
Oh my gosh!
Ha! Bet you didn't expect to see this season again on this list. While Mike's fight for his sanity was both hilarious and memorable, there is another moment from this season that really just can't be overlooked. Meet Zoey, a small-town girl living in a lonely world. Okay, I really need to stop with the Journey references. Throughout the season, she really doesn't have much in the way of character development. Other than her relationship with Mike, she really doesn't do that much. She just acts all sweet and innocent, but then, one day, when she truly wanted to...
It's payback time! And I don't care if that's okay with everyone!
What makes this moment work is the complete whiplashing character. Throughout the whole season, Zoey was the most self-conscious, sweetest girl you would ever see, but when there was no other option, her inner demon came out in full force. Gee, doesn't that remind you of anyone? Overall, Zoey is probably one of my least favorite characters in the show, but this moment was definitely the best of the season, at least for me anyway. One of the main plot devices, or gimmicks of Total Drama World Tour was that in each episode, the contestants had to improvise a musical number. These songs ranged from forgettable to annoying to painful. However, there were actually a few songs that were really well done. So which one made the list?
I left Bridget stuck to a pole, robbed Lashana of a fabulous soul, made even Courtney lose control. Now I'm gonna leave you wedged up in a hole. This is how we will end it. This game we have played. This is how we will end it. Your bill must be paid.
Wow. Just wow. I'd pretty much given up on the musical numbers after about the 5th episode of the season, and for the most part, the season didn't really do much to change that. But then, this happened. The visuals are nicely done, the background music is epic, the lyrics are wonderfully written, and Heather and Alejandro actually have pretty good voices. I also have to give this song props for its portrayal of Heather. Heather is essentially the villain of Total Drama, and she's probably my second favorite character behind Harold. Heather is that person that you just love to hate, but this song is one of the few times where she shows genuine weakness. This just further cemented why I love Heather's character. And speaking of memorable moments involving Heather... in the first season of Total Drama, Heather is introduced as the villain. She's portrayed as a character who will literally do anything and everything she can to win this game. From recruiting Lindsay and Beth to follow her every command, to breaking up the power couple of Trent and Gwen, to stealing Eva's MP3 player. And we love her for it. However, Heather has a kryptonite. One thing that she was not willing to do to win.
What's it going to be, Heather? Are you going to do the dare? Or the walk of shame? Wow. Well, that was an unfortunate accident. Looks like Heather's out.
What are you talking about? He shaved my head!
True, but you didn't actually accept the dare. If you had, you'd still be bald, but at least you'd be in the game.
To sum this moment up in 2 words...
just desserts.
The reason this moment makes it this high is because Heather was so ruthless and evil throughout the season, and finally seeing her brought down was both hilarious and satisfying. Oh, Lindsay. Lindsay, Lindsay, Lindsay. If you couldn't tell by her appearance, Lindsay is this show's interpretation of the dumb blonde stereotype. And in all honesty, she's probably my least favorite character from the original cast of the show. However, as we established with Zoey's freakout, that doesn't necessarily mean that she hasn't had any good moments. In fact, as you probably already guessed, one of them is at number 2 on this list.
That stuff people say about you is true! Like how you're a two-faced, backstabbing, lying little... I always told them they were wrong. I stood up for you because I thought we were BFFs! But they're right! You really are a two-faced, backstabbing, lying little... And guess what? I don't want to be BFFs anymore. I'd rather spend the day staring at Owen's butt than shopping with you. And P.S. Your shoes are tacky.
In a similar fashion to Zoey's freakout, what makes this moment work is the complete shift in character. Lindsay is known to be ditzy and clueless throughout the entire show. She always followed Heather's orders without even beginning to question it. And then... Geez, who knew those words were even in her vocabulary? She's got a bigger mouth than Dumbledore.
Your mother is a f***ing lorem ipsum admitum venium tragula hippopotamus Republican and Daniel Radcliffe with a bucket of and a castle far away where no one can hear you. Soup with a bucket of Mickey Mouse and a stick of dynamite. Magical Alakazam. Wow.
Out of all the moments from the entire series, there was only ever one that could take this spot. One moment to rule them all.
Looking for this? Thanks for everything.
No! I can't catch my breath.
You're gorgeous when you've lost.
I worked so hard, and now you're just gonna take the mill and vanish from my life forever. Just throw your stupid doll in the stupid volcano already.
So, what are you more upset about losing? The million or me?
Are you cracked? I would never fall for a jerk like you.
Then why are you blushing?
Hello? We're like right beside the hottest thing on the planet.
Yeah. Admit it. You're in love with me.
What? I don't love you. I love... hate! I meant I hate you.
I know what you meant. And I must confess, at first, yes, my intentions were purely strategic.
Can the confessing wait? Kind of on a schedule here, bro.
That is no longer the case. Because you have stolen my heart.
Oh, that is so beautiful. Even if it is Heather.
Our connection goes deeper than any game. Together, we could take over the world.
Wow. I suppose I might actually feel a little something.
Mi amor.
A little something called victory! So long, sucker!
Nice! It's about time
course somebody took La Cucaracha down.
Yeah, boys are okay, but $1 million is way better! Yes! Yes, 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 yes!
And that's a cool million for Heather, the winner of Total Drama World Tour!
All right!
Sweet!
Look how beautiful it is!
Whoa! Didn't see that one coming. Anywho.
Wait for me!
I chose this moment for number 1 because of how complete it is. We get the dramatic end to the bitter rivalry between Heather and Alejandro, the just desserts for the villain, great dialogue, great visuals, plenty of quality humor, and even a few movie references. All the moments I've mentioned before were memorable for a number of reasons, whether they were dramatic, hilarious, unexpected, satisfying, or just plain cool to look at. But this was the only moment I found in the entire series that encompassed all of these traits in one glorious moment. If you haven't seen the show yet, I'd say give it a try. It puts a ton of effort into itself, has great comedy and characters, and is a real breath of fresh air compared to most animation nowadays. If nothing else, I can guarantee that this show will definitely renew your faith in animation of today. I'm Phoenix King, and bring on Season 5!
Mom and Dad, I'm doing fine. You guys are on my mind. You asked me what I wanted to be, and now I think the answer is plain to see. I wanna be famous. I wanna live close to the sun. Oh, pack your bags, cause I've already won. Everything to prove, nothing in my way. I'll get there one day. Cause I wanna be
Just go for it, Harold. What have you got to lose?
They see me mowing my front lawn. I know they're all thinking I'm so wide and nerdy. Think I'm just too wide and nerdy. Think I'm just too wide